Phones are on silent, so there won't be any interruption. And I've like sort of soundproofed the studio. There's blankets all over the place, something to absorb the echo. But in the meantime, get yourself settled. What you'll need for practice today is a yoga mat or a folded up blanket, something for padding underneath you. You'll also need 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have 2 yoga blocks, what I can recommend is to find a thick, big book. Thank you to Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss for this. This can act as your yoga block. So you see it has a similar shape. It's something that you can put your weight on. It's something that will bring the floor to you. So if you don't have yoga blocks, grab a thick ass book. And we'll come to the yoga blocks for also sometimes like padding or just to support the joints. And if you don't have 2 yoga blocks, you can also use sort of 2 rolled up towels. I'll show you when we get into our setup set what I mean by this. And you don't need a yoga strap today, but I just want to chat about what you can use instead of a yoga strap. You can use belts, any belt that you have at home. I'm fortunate enough that Ryan, my husband, has these yoga belts with D-rings. But even if they don't have D-rings, it's fine. Anything that you can sort of hook into. And if you need a longer strap, you can always combine 2 belts. So this one again has the D-ring, so it's just easy to tie that up and make it longer. But if you have a belt with holes in it, then you can also just hook the one belt to the other belt hole. So yeah, just for future reference, if you need a yoga strap, you can just use any belt at home. Okay. So, it's 8 o'clock on the dot. And what we're going to get into today is a yin flow for your legs, which means that we're generally going to target the lower meridian lines such as your liver, your kidney, your spleen, your stomach meridian lines. We're going to work into the hips. So this is where blocks, rolled up blankets, any sort of padding will be your best friend. Right. Oh. And I'm sitting on a bolster. I'm sitting on a yoga bolster. If you don't have a yoga bolster, you can grab any sort of thick cushion for support. But we are going to start with the bolster. So quickly grab a bolster or a cushion somewhere around you. And the setup shape that I'm going to start you in will be a supported reclined butterfly. So you'll place the cushion or the bolster under your knees. If you don't have a cushion or a bolster, then you can use your yoga blocks, placing them under the knees or under the hips. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use your rolled up towels, placing them under the hips like so, just for a little bit of support. But if you have a bolster or a cushion, under the knees, soles of the feet are together. When you recline yourself back, just grab the bolster with you. And then align the spine, making sure that the shoulders stay over the hips. 2 options for your arms, either resting wide along the side body, palms are facing upward, or you can rest the hands on top of one another to your lower belly. Just take a moment to shuffle, to adjust, to shift any clothing. Make sure that you are 100% comfortable, that you're not feeling any tensions or pains or aches. If you are already feeling pains and aches in the hips and the knees, move bolster or blocks aside and just straighten the legs down towards the floor. You're facing the ceiling. And if you haven't already, slowly begin to soften into your gaze and close your eyes completely. And as you close into the eyes, take that opportunity to shift your awareness within, recognizing your inner world. And if the mind is wandering off somewhere, wherever you are in this world. Notice if the mind is wandering off to a sound, maybe a smell, notice if your mind is wandering off to a pocket of tension in your body, or a sensation that may arise. Maybe a memory or an emotion has been triggered. As you go within, see if you can observe your internal world. Can you look from the outside in? Without attaching or involving yourself in any way. Wherever your mind wanders off to today, I ask you to compassionately label it as thinking mind. And then shift your thinking mind into a folder. Put that folder into another folder. Call it get back to you later. And then save that folder on your desktop. And then click on the Yin Yoga program. Let's tune in for the next hour. To settle your breath into your bones, we'll start by taking a deep inhale through the nose, sigh it out the mouth. Twice more, inhale, sigh it out. Last one, inhale, sigh it out. Allow your entire back body to melt into the earth beneath you. And surrender yourself into this very moment. Continue this awareness of your breath, but keep your breath in and out of your nostrils throughout practice today. To deepen this connection with your breath, we'll find a simple breathing technique, samavriti or equal breathing, where we invite a mental count of 5 between every inhale and every exhale, with 0 breath retention in between. So to get you settled into this breathing technique, let's all together take in a deep inhale, a slow exhale out the nostrils, control it. Then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Inhale, count for yourself. Exhale, keep counting. Continue with Samavriti. Continue to mentally count your breath. Concentrate. Control your breath. Only for a couple more minutes. Detach from your external world. The time to go within is now. Concentrate on your breathing. And take your last round of Samavriti, equal breathing. And return your breath back into its natural self. And lightly shifting your left hand over your heart, connecting with your inner light. I'd like to take this moment to recite a poem from Dana Felds called Inner Light. The inner light is always with me. When I slip beneath the agitated surface of the mind, I find it, like a fragment of the Big Bang, still glowing. This energy doesn't depend on health or strength or even mental peace. It isn't a product of belief, nor is it me in any egocentric way of speaking. The inner light is always there, waiting to be felt and seen, waiting for me to release it through my choice to be still and recognize its presence. The illumination grows the more I let it go. Like radiant heat, it flows out of me, flows from my whole being without leaving me depleted. We're all like this, whether we know it yet or not. Tiny stars glowing in the dark. So if throughout practice today you find the mind is agitated, connect with your breath, connect with your inner light. It is always there, shining. Then lower your left hand back down to the floor. And slowly guide your hands towards your knees
and hug both of the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Maybe you'd like to rock a few times up and down along the spinal column. Do whatever you feel is right. Follow your intuition for release. Then to come out, draw your left hand overhead. Rock yourself over completely to the left side of your body and push up through your right hand to a comfortable seated position. You can either straighten the legs towards the front or you can cross the legs, whatever's comfortable for you. I'll just take a moment to demonstrate our first posture, which is going to be a butterfly but with a flexion in the spine. So for butterfly, this requires you to draw the soles of the feet together and the knees will come out towards the sides of the room. Now you have some options here with how deep you can go into this posture. The closer the heels are towards the pubis, the deeper the stress you'll apply into the groin, into the inner thighs and hips. If you need that bit of space and you'd like to work up towards the depth, then start with the heels slightly away. If the hips are the biggest problem here, you can grab your yoga blocks. You can place them under the thighs. If you don't have yoga blocks, remember you can also grab your blankets. Now the aim here is to forward fold, and because gravity deepens you into the postures with Yin, let's take it slow. So I always recommend to fill the space between the forehead and the floor if you are forward folding. So you can use one yoga block. You can use 2 yoga blocks. You can even use your bolster if forward folding is the biggest issue here. You can place it forward, just bonk the head down, and you can rest the arms either over the thighs or under the calves is quite nice. I like under the calves because it opens between the shoulder blades and it forces the arms to relax down. Just take about 30 seconds or so to fidget and adjust in the shape, finding a shape where you can maintain stillness. We don't want to move, there's no fidgeting, there's no activation of muscle. Find a posture where you can relax into it. Now as you find your shape, lightly begin to soften into your gaze and close your eyes completely. Remember, when you close the eyes, we seize an opportunity to go within and to recognize our internal disposition. Coming into a Yin shape, can you observe your initial response to it? If the mind wandered off to thinking, what were you thinking about? If the mind wandered off to a pocket of tension, where is that pocket of tension in your body? And were you able to observe if triggering the pocket of tension had triggered that thought? Can you observe? You have the time to. And to get you into that state of observation, I'd like to remind you of the 3 tattvas or principles of Yin. The first is to meet your edge, that area or state of vulnerability, and encourage softening and relaxation there. This is very important. If you're holding
holding on to more tension than anything, if it's triggering too many emotions that you're not quite ready to handle today, then remember you always have your own permission to shift and adjust into a shape that is triggering, that's pushing you into that area of discomfort, but where the breath remains calm and steady. This is the second tattva. Resolve to be still here. In your physical body, in your energetic body through the breath, remember it is calm and steady. And through your mind body, the mental body, still it. Trying to calm the mind by observing your breath. Just focus on the breath for now. And to work your way out of the shape, if your arms are under the calves, begin to slide them out. If your arms are on the knees or on the floor, palms down, push up through the arms. Draw the abdomen upright. And then for your rebound, we're going to find a windshield wipers. So hands to the thighs, bring the knees up. Walk the feet a little bit away from the sit bones, but you still have a bend in your knees. And the feet are about hip width apart. Lean back into your hands. And just lightly begin to rock the knees and the hips side to side. Maybe if you feel you'd like to close the eyes, working into sensation and feeling, please encourage that. We'll just take a couple more rounds here. And then finding stillness, come back to a comfortable seated position. I'll demonstrate the next posture that we'll come into. In this butterfly, we targeted into our kidney and liver and sort of spleen meridian lines. And to find balance, especially for the kidney, we're going to target into our urinary meridian line now. So that means we'll come into a caterpillar. And for caterpillar, for those of you who did my class on, was it Thursday? Caterpillar requires another flexion in the spine, and for some, hips aren't as open as mine, for instance, so you're more than welcome to separate the legs, not wide, maybe just about hip width apart to accommodate that extra bit of space that you may need. And remember, when we forward fold, it's required that we fill the space between the forehead and the floor. So again, there are a number of ways that you can come to it. Just finding the right height for you. There's so many different levels. If forward folding is your greatest problem, I quite like to stack my blocks like so, keeping them a bit close to the outer thighs, and then rest your bolster on top. You can just fold forward like so, or even bolster on this third level, head down, and then arms over your blocks. Alright, so take some time just to find your shape. Remember, it's going to be different for everyone, and that's why in Yin we give these options for you to work into. Make sure you're not reaching in the arms. This isn't an active forward fold. We're not trying to touch the toes with our fingers. Arms are relaxed. So bend those elbows, turn the palms to face up, open between your shoulder blades. The more you can relax, the deeper you open into your range of motion. Now, if you haven't already, soften your gaze. Close your eyes completely. And just take a moment to observe your initial response having come into it. And begin to work through the 3 tattvas of Yin, exploring your edge and softening. Resolving to be still in your body, your breath, and your mind. And the last tattva is to remain mindful, especially throughout this long hold. It's easy to let the mind wander off. It's easy to get distracted. The practice is to connect with yourself on all levels of functioning. If you feel you need to settle your breath into your bones, then take that deep inhale through the nose, sigh it out the mouth. 2 more, inhale. Sigh it out. Last one, big inhale. Sigh it out. Remember, if you ever need to back off or you need to deepen, please allow your intuition to guide you toward that. If there is an invitation to deepen, be accepting of it. Observe yourself opening up like 1,000 petal lotus. And to work your way out of the shape, turn your palms to face down, push up through the hands to unravel the spine slowly up. And then for a rebound, you'll come to a mini Shavasana. So recline the back body all the way down to the mat, feet out as wide as the mat, arms out wide, palms are facing upward, and relax the head down. Close your eyes. And take this time and rebound to release. Yes, observe the experience you had, but with the intention to let it go. It happened, it's in the past. Stay with me in the present. Slowly hug both of your knees into the chest. Extend left arm up overhead, rock over to the left side body. And then push up through the right hand back to your comfortable seated position. Now the next posture that we're going to come into is your hero or your straddle pose. So for your straddle, there are a few ways that you can come into it, and this all depends on what's going on in your ankles, what's going on in the knees, in the hips, and the lumbar spine. Now with your full straddle, and I hope it's the right one, but it doesn't matter, I'm doing both straddle and saddle today, sometimes I get confused between the two. We're going to target into our stomach meridian line. And for your full straddle, the knees come together, the feet out wide as your mat, but the toes are pointing to the back. Please do not bring the toes out to the side. If you have the range of motion in your knees, you can sit down between the ankles and the feet. If you have even more range of motion, you're more than welcome to lean back onto the elbows or all the way down to the floor, arms either along the side or up overhead. If you're struggling with this range of motion in the knees, you are more than welcome to take a seat on your yoga block or on that thick book. If you are on the yoga block, you will not move back. You're going to keep sitting, shoulders up over the hips, and rest the hands onto the knees or the thighs, palms are facing upward. If you find that the twist in the knee isn't working for you, you can simply sit the sit bones down onto the heels and open the knees slightly about hip width apart. From here, you can lean back into the hands, or you can come down onto the elbows. Just be mindful of this back bend in the lumbar spine, and with the head option to tuck the chin to the chest, closing the eyes, or you can extend the head back, keeping the eyes closed as well. And just take some time to recognize the shape that you're in. What's going on? How has this physical posture triggered the mental, the emotional, and the energetic bodies? Can you be mindful throughout this long hold, applying the 3 tattvas of Yin Yoga? Can you concentrate on your breath? Your calm and steady breath to encourage deep softening within. And if you ever need to settle the breath into your bones, take that deep inhale and sigh it out. Gently begin to work your way out of the shape. If you are drawing back, turn palms to face down, tuck chin to chest, push up through the elbows, the heels of the hands up, and then slowly lean yourself forwards. Rest onto the bum, and straighten the legs towards the floor.
Lean back into your hands and just lightly begin to snap the backs of the thighs into the earth. Maybe you'd like to wobble the legs, shifting prana and energy into the ankles, into the feet. Keep moving. I'm going to demonstrate the neck shape for you, which is going to be for about 1.5 to 2 minutes an up swan, and then for about 1.5 to 2 minutes in a sleeping swan. So to get yourself into the shape, you can either start from your tabletop, or if you'd like a nice little stretch, you can push back into your downward facing dog, and just encourage a little bit of movement. Even in tabletop, more than welcome to work into a cat-cow. But to get the right leg forward, either from downward dog or from your tabletop, you're going to shift the right knee towards the inside of the right hand, and then you'll shift the right ankle out towards your left hip. So that means that your shin is going to come to a 45-degree angle, just depending on the range of motion in your hip. Now you'll point the left toes behind you and slide onto the top of that left leg, really opening up into the top of your left hip, your iliacus psoas. Now, if you find that you're dropping the hips down, especially that right sit bone, and you're opening up into that left thigh, then take some padding. You can either place a bolster under that right thigh to keep the hips equal. You can place a yoga block under that right sit bone, keeping the hips equal, or you can even use rolled up towel or blanket. But to find your up swan, you're going to ground into the hands towards the front, fingers pointing forward, but relax the hands. And just to make sure that all is well with that back leg, heel roughly in line with the sit bone. If your kneecaps are giving you some issues, place a rolled up blanket under your ankles so you have a relaxed bend in the knee. Now keep the head low, chin to your chest, and lightly begin to soften into your gaze and close your eyes completely. Remember, as you observe your internal world, always have the intention to let go without suppression. What's arising for you today is important. It's here for a reason. Which is why I should remind you that this too shall pass. Now from here, we'll work our way into sleeping swan. So gently begin to walk the hands forward, softening the belly, the chest over the right thigh. You can either reach the hands to the front, relaxing the forehead to the floor, or you can bend the elbows to the sides, hands on top of one another, and rest the forehead down to the tops of your hands. Take a moment to shuffle, to readjust. Find that shape where you can soften. Recognize what's here. Say hello to your vulnerability. Breathe with it. Nourish it, something that's needed, this nurturing characteristic for some time. And remember, you have the choice to let it go. Letting go of what has no purpose here. Using the breath to bring you back home to yourself. back to your inner light. Slowly begin to push up through your hands, guiding the abdomen off of that right thigh. And we're immediately going to go into a next pose, so no counter pose. Just to show you from this direction, you're going to soften onto that right bum, so move a block or a cushion aside if you used one. Soften onto that bum and then swing the left leg forward. We're going to find half shoelace, so you'll straighten the right leg towards the front. And then you're going to cross that left leg over. Now, depending on your range of motion into the hip, into the side of your left thigh, you can either simply hold onto your thigh like this for the duration of the hold, or if you can deepen for full half shoelace, grab that left ankle and slide it towards your right hip. Come onto the side of that left foot, a bit onto the top. And then just check that that right heel is roughly in line with the right sit bone. Now, if you do have the knee up, you'll stay upright. If you have the heel towards the right hip, then we'll begin to fold ourselves forward. And bear in mind, when you fold forward, it's going to deepen the stress into the right ITB, into the right thigh. This beautiful fascial line that we have all the way from the foot into the calf, into the thigh, into the glute. So just take a moment to relax the head down if you can. The deeper you relax the head down, the deeper the stress in the hamstring. And then take a moment to soften into the gaze and close the eyes. You have the option to fill the space between the forehead and the floor, or your knee by using a block, a book, a rolled up towel. You have options. And if you haven't already, begin to soften your gaze. Close the eyes. And don't forget to breathe. In your swan and in half shoelace, we're targeting into liver and gallbladder meridian line. And gallbladder meridian line is around the outer side of the body, which means that in swan and in this posture, we're targeting a bit of the outer hip and a bit of urinary bladder meridian line as well into that right hamstring. Be mindful where you're feeling it. Your body, your breath is a wonderful, wonderful communicator. Unfortunately, our thinking mind or egocentric mind gets in the way. This is why we come to Yin, to learn how to quiet the mind, how to listen to the body, and follow our intuition. So keep breathing. Let your breath guide you back home.
through your hands. Begin to unravel the spine, bringing the head up last. And then you can uncross that left thigh from the right, and we're going to come back into this windshield wipers. So feet hip width apart, little bend in the knees, lean back into the hands, and just slowly rock the knees and the hips side to side. And then from here, we're going to come back into that swan. So remember, two ways you can get into it. Either from your tabletop, or you can come in from your downward dog. Maybe you'd like to encourage a little bit of movement here, maybe some cat-cows in your tabletop pose. And then when you're ready, we'll work into the left side. So you'll draw the left knee to the inside of the left hand. Shift that left heel out towards the right hip, which means the shin is coming to a 45-degree angle. Point the right toes and slide yourself onto the top of the right thigh. If you need padding, please feel free to come to it. And then we're going to start for about 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes into our up swan. So grounding into the hands, reaching them a little bit towards the front, and tucking the chin towards the chest. Soften into your gaze. Close your eyes completely. And be mindful of this experience, especially having come into the posture initially. And you work through it through observation. And you let it go through the breath, surrendering yourself even more to this present moment. Because this is where it's at. It's not about what's going to happen after the practice. It's not about what happened 2 years ago or yesterday. It's about what is happening right here, right now. Now, if you'd like to deepen, if your intuition is guiding you to do so, and slowly begin to walk the hands towards the front, reclining the forehead all the way down to the floor. Or you can reach the elbows out to the sides, hands on top of one another, and relax the forehead down. As you've shifted into a deeper pose, again, recognize how that has made you feel. If it's not right, move out. We are not working with pain. No pain. We're working with discomfort. And finding a sense of calm in that discomfort. Whereas if you're dealing with pain, the calm won't come. And will do more damage than good. So allow your intuition to guide you. And don't forget to breathe.
Lightly push up through your hands, drawing the abdomen up off your left thigh. And then if you had a block or a cushion under the left buttock, shift that aside. And then draw the right leg towards the front, straightening the left down. And then crossing the right foot or ankle over your left knee. You'll either stay here upright, or if you can deepen, grab your right ankle. Try to draw the right heel towards the left hip. Check that the left heel is in line with the left sit bone. And then you'll either stay upright, or if you can deepen, slowly begin to fold forward. And remember, the more you relax the head down towards the floor, the deeper the stress into your left hamstring, into this beautiful deep fascial line along the left side of the leg. Also option to fill the space between the forehead and the knee, using blocks, books, blankets, you name it. You've got the options. If you haven't already, lightly begin to soften your gaze and close your eyes completely. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let go, let go, let go. Not sure where that ended, but we were in half shoelace with the right leg over and then reclining down forward. To work your way out, turn your palms to face down, push up through the hands, unravel the spine up, and then lean back into the hands, straighten that right leg, find a little bend in the knees. We're going to find windshield wipers. Sorry about these technical difficulties. I'm trying to understand what live is and how much time you have. Seems like you have less than an hour, hence the second video. So the next posture that we'll come into, and it's your last posture, you can also stay in this posture as your Shavasana, you'll find relaxation. If you feel after 5 minutes that you'd like to move into the full expression of Shavasana, just to demonstrate, this is your Shavasana, reclined all the way down, palms are facing upward. However, if you'd like to work into your legs up a wall to get the leg work Just a moment to relax into the body. You can go up against the wall, bring your mat with you or your blanket so you have the padding, and then draw the sit bones right up against the wall. Come to rest onto the side body, and one at a time, slowly raise the legs up. Make sure that the sit bones are right up against the wall, and if you find that the lower back is lifting because your hamstrings are tight, grab your rolled up blanket and then place it underneath your sacrum. Arms are either resting wide along the side body, palms are facing upward, or hands on top of one another to the lower belly. Face up at the ceiling. And if you haven't already, lightly begin to soften into your gaze and close your eyes completely. As you close the eyes, settle yourself in to this beautifully restorative pose, in this mild inversion with the intention to cool and calm the nervous system and to cool you down from our leggy practice today. Thank you so much for joining me and for holding space during this live class. This practice will be available online on our YouTube channel and on our website. Take as long as you need. We are in no rush. And remember, if you'd like to move into your Shavasana after about 5 minutes, please do so. Namaste. Hari Om Tat Sat. The divine in me sees and honors